Listen to me, you know what I'm saying? I want to talk to y'all real quick. Hold on for a minute, wait a minute, hold on, wait. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's a lot going on, you know what I mean? Before we get started, y'all already know what we got to do. You know what I mean? Get ready. Bad news told everything. 100% accuracy. Officer T. Ward knows. He told everything. Wait a minute. Cheese in the chat, please. Cheese up in this chat. I'm going to need some gorgonzola in the chat. Mozzarella, all of that. He pointed out number 4. Officer T. Ward said he got up out that room, out of that hospital bed, chased Officer T. Ward down, told him to turn the body cam off, wanted to see that binder, and pointed to number 4 in that lineup. No McDonald's needed. No Taco Bell needed. I do want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Clone owes knowledge of foot. What knowledge is foot at? Oh no. Sorry, bad news. We don't use no real names up in here. Let's call him bad news. He told everything. Everybody want to talk about Gunna? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Clone. Clone was talking with them detectives, sitting down, asking them, what I gotta say to get out of here? Just saying, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. Now, Officer T. Ward, most popular officer in battle rap up in here. Shout out. Your boy did not think he was going to be able to blog today. Yesterday, your boy had a root canal. Anybody ever had one of them? I switched away from fluoride toothpaste, watching TikTok and kind of believing everything that they saying on TikTok. So I was with that toothpaste that's not fluoride for about 6 months, and your boy developed a cavity. So had to get a root canal yesterday. I was going to go live yesterday, but I didn't want my teeth to fall out like O-Reds. Shout out to O-Red. He got a battle with Miss Hustle coming up. Shout out to O-Red. No diss. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But now your boy can talk. Wait a minute. He told everything. Shout out to everybody. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Have y'all ever, before we get to the topic, I was riding on my motorcycle today, right? I think my girl at work, I don't think she can hear me. And I'm at this place called 21 South. Anybody been to Nashville, Tennessee? 21 South is new. It's been gentrified. They got everybody from the hood up out of there. And it's a bunch of California girls walking around there. You ever seen somebody so fine you get mad? Like, God, you get mad at her a minute. Like, well, hold up. Where you come from? You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. I do want to say it's a lot going on in battle rap. First of all, before we get into the Hitman Holla and Murder Mook, shout out to both of them. Sirius Jones and Rex have been going back and forth. I went ahead and called Rex to ask him, like, you know, what does he think about everything? You know, is this a battle that he's actually willing to take? You know, because as a blogger, you want to know, like, are you going to, you know, continue to market something if there's no battle coming from it? You know what I mean? And Rex basically told me he's feeling a couple different ways about this battle, a potential battle, right? First of all, he feels like Sirius Jones lost his last battle against Big T, right? So he doesn't understand why not Big T, but Sirius Jones wants to battle him after he just lost clearly to Big T. So that's one thing. And he did say that publicly, you know, so I mean, I don't know. He said something like that publicly. So, but he said, I told him, like, yo, this gotta be an all right battle. And he was like, you know, it is what it is. If the money if it all makes sense, like he'd be willing to do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. They going back and forth. Me personally, looking at all of this, I like evil Serious Jones. A lot of people don't like Jones. I like Serious Jones. You know what I'm saying? I think Serious Jones is dope. You know what I mean? I didn't like the performance he had with Big T. That's one performance. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's one, like, win-loss ratio. Serious Jones has one of the best win-loss ratios in battle rap. So I ain't got nothing but respect for him. You know what I mean? So hopefully if they end up, hey, if the public wants to see it and somebody wants to book it, well, you know what I'm saying? We'll end up seeing it. As far as him battling Big T, I mean, I wouldn't be excited about battling Big T either. Saying what it is, you know what I'm saying? Thug life, no diss. I can't get mad at that one, you know what I mean? But, you know, Serious Jones, if you want to battle Rex, maybe hopefully y'all can find a place to get the bag. You know, we can all, like, continue to talk about it, promote it, market it a little bit more. Serious Jones has been in his bag recently. We're not going to act like he has not been. Utilizing his channel, you know, getting his, you know, his word out. I think he dropped a diss on Rex, you know, said he went to Rex's block. Rex saying that that's not his block, you know, and then I think he said something along the lines of somebody was trying to run, somebody he knew was running Serious Jones away from there. So I don't know whether or not that's true or not. Serious Jones has got a channel and he can, you know, talk about that, you know, if that happened or not. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Serious Jones. Also, Swamp versus John. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard no announcements yet, but it's a lot of clues going around that battle may actually be going down. You know, so I don't know. Hopefully, John, if you battle Swamp, get back into your bag, you know, and maybe go back and forth and market with him. Swamp is not opposed to marketing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to John and Don. I see that you recently responded to Jay Mills, you know, but, you know, we want to see whether or not, you know, you and Swamp can give us a good performance. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to both of y'all. As far as Hitman Holla and Murder Mook right now, you know what I'm saying? I seen the face-off. Know a lot of y'all watched it. And, you know, I'm going to keep it real. You know, about this face-off, I kind of was like, I don't know if this is going to be good or not. I liked the face-off. I think it was like, was it 57 minutes of heat? You know what I mean? Very, very good face-off. It kind of, it was one-sided to me. It was one-sided to me. It kind of felt like to me that Mook was in control of the face-off. Hitman said something to Mook. He was like, because Mook was saying like, yo, I'm the reason why you got into gladiator school. Like, this is me helping you. And then Hitman said, like, you know, this is what I'm talking about. He's capping. Snoop hit me and told me he was a fan of me. Mook said, I told him to say that. It's over. Mook is wildin'. Mook was wildin' in this. You know what I'm saying? Hitman was fighting back. You know, he had some, you know, some points that people tend to try to make with Murder Mook, saying that Murder Mook is not really that good of a writer. He talked about, I guess, the pallbearer, but then Mook flipped that around and was like, yo, you can't remix bullets that came out of him. You know what I'm saying? He talked about Hitman, talking about the Mario stuff in his raps. And it's like everything that Hitman, everything that Hitman said to Mook bounced right off of Mook. You know what I'm saying? He had a very, very good rebuttal to everything. You know what I mean? I do want to say shout out to Hitman Holla. Hitman spit some of his round to Mook, you know, and he's talking about he's got like 4 rounds ready. He's ready to battle right now. And Mook is like, there you go, rapping at me again for free. This is crazy. I did not expect this amount of rebuttal. See, the sober Mook is a problem. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a problem. And it looks like he's been focused a lot on Hitman Holla. Like he even, Hitman had, you know, what people would normally say to Mook, like, yo, Mook, you don't really leave New York. And Mook was ready. He was like, Atlanta, battled in Atlanta, Houston, you know, it's going down in Houston, California. You know what I'm saying? He's like rattling off like different places that he battled. So it's like, it's like when you want to give Hitman a point, it's like Mook just goes ahead and he snatches everything. You know, so I don't know. It's a very, very interesting face-off because it's one side. It's like Hitman is playing the offensive, right? Like he's on the attack, and Mook is just sitting back like a grown-up and just deflecting everything that comes his way. And the thing is, like, when you're going up against somebody like Mook, this is the Michael Jordan of battle rap. Now, I will say about Hitman Holla, a lot of people, you know, they have their critiques of Hitman. Oh, Hitman's not that great of a rapper. He don't know how to bar. He's not bar heavy. Then he had to battle with Bill Collector first round. He got bar heavy with Bill Collector. He had to battle with Casino. He got bar heavy with Casino. So it's like people say he can't do things, you know, and then he either shows up and proves or he makes a battle close. Like people thought he was going to lose to Geechee Gotti. He turns out he won that battle, right? Some people debated. I got him winning the battle. I think Hitman won. People said that, yo, Hitman can't rap with Ill Will. That's a debatable battle. Some people got Ill Will winning. Some people got Hitman Holla winning. And this was a small room. People would say like, oh, well, Ill Will's dangerous in a small room. Hitman, you about to be out of your element. And Hitman showed up and proved it doesn't have to be a big stage. He can get in a small room and hang with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? If not, win the battle. You know what I mean? And you know, that battle is debatable. Some people got Ill Will, some people got Hitman. Hitman Holla versus Tay-Rock, right? I, for one, was definitely one of these people like, yo, like Rock is a better rapper than you. You know what I'm saying? Like his bars are a little bit better structured. Like he can't win against, you know, like Rock, come on, bruh. And then he took Rock and lost, and what was it? Vegas. And he won that battle 3-0. You know, so it's like when you think Hitman Holla is going to lose clearly or you feel like he's not going to show up, he does. You know what I mean? And it's a boost to his accolades. You know, I feel like, you know, he is, you know, overrated sometimes. People feel like his pen is maybe a little bit better than what it is at times, you know, and then sometimes he's underrated. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Shout out to Hitman Holla. As far as performance, I think Hitman Holla is there. You know, he's got the performance. I think a big stage. I think this is going to be more of a Hitman Holla's element. But at the same time, like watching the face-off, and we all know face-offs is not indicative of whether or not a person's going to win the battle. We've seen people win face-offs and lose battles clearly. That's happened a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Like even the Hitman and Easy face-off, where you kind of looked at it like, you know, maybe Hitman was doing really well in the face-off and he lost clearly to Easy. You know, so things like that can happen. You know, so, you know, shout out to Hitman Holla, shout out to Mook. As far as this battle, I don't know. I think Hitman is in trouble. It is what it is. This is sober Mook, dog. I don't know. What y'all think? Down in the comment section below. 1 in the chat if you got Hitman Holla winning. 2 in the chat if you got Mook winning this battle coming. I think he's in trouble. I think he's in trouble because Mook, I have never seen Mook this focused ever. I started to see him being focused towards Arsenal. And I'm like, yo, like Mook is kind of on a different wave. Like he's not, you know, his sentences are a little bit more clear and cohesive. And some of these interviews, I'm like, yo, like well, this might be interesting. You know, most people got Mook winning going into this battle. It's a bunch of 2s. I'm like, this might be interesting going into this, you know, Mook and Arsenal. And then you see what Mook did, like, in the Arsenal battle. And you can see the clarity with Murder Mook, like, in this face-off. Everything that Hitman threw at him, he was able to repel. You know, it bounced right off of him. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We going up against the Teflon Don here. Is this what's going on with Murder Mook? You know, so, but I don't know. Like, Mook is the Michael Jordan of battle rap, one of the best battlers ever in history. And it's difficult, even when you've reached, you know, the plateaus of that Hitman's reached. You know, he's been on Wild 'N Out. He's been, you know what I'm saying, one of the most viewed battlers in battle rap, average viewed battlers. He can take a battle with just about anybody and get close to 1 million, if not 1 million, 2, 3 million views. You know, so the fan base is there. But when it comes to nostalgia, I just feel like it's, you know, it ain't nothing really anybody can say to Mook. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know what I mean? I think Mook handled this very well. But as far as the event, is this going to be a good event? Hopefully. You know, we'll see. But this is, like I said, it's not really indicative of who's going to win the battle. You know, but for right now, it looked like this was clearly in favor of Mook. You know what I'm saying? Let's get what some of these comments is saying up in here. You know what I mean? Before we get out of here. Let's see what some of these comments are saying. Let's go over here. Somebody said, Hitman, Snoop called me and told me he was a fan of me. Mook, I told him to say that. Everybody's laughing. Somebody said, you got Mook who talks people in circles, and Hitman Holla who feels the need to answer every critique. These guys need a show. Somebody said September finna be a good month. Canelo versus Crawford, Hitman versus Mook, Lux versus Twerk, Rock versus Fonz, return of the NFL. Somebody said Hitman keeps saying Mook is talking in circles. This is the clearest I've ever heard Mook speak. Hitman ain't even catch the I know you tell better stories. It's gonna be a long night. Oh, so it seems like people in the chat are kind of up to speed on what's going on. As far as this was the line of the whole face-off. When Mook looked at Hitman Holla and he said, my silence is worth anything more than anything you can ever say. What? My silence is worth anything that you can ever say. That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Because, you know, Hitman Holla, he'll market it, he'll promote, you know what I mean? And Mook said, my silence is worth anything that you can ever say. And then they talked a little bit about, because Mook said something along the lines like, yeah, you promote, like, people you're not even about to battle. And Hitman was like, you lying, like, what are you talking about? You just talking nonsense. But then you got to think, like, Hitman and Verb just went back and forth. They're not about to battle, so it kind of goes along with what Mook was saying. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This is kind of because, like, I'm looking at this battle like big stage, right? I think Hitman needs to. This is what you. Hitman, I'm just one blogger out of many. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own opinions. It is what it is. But I feel like you need to put Mook in a situation where he's dealing with the best version of Hitman. Don't try to be like, you know, get away from being Hitman to try to show you can do something else and beat Mook. I want to see Hitman Holla bring show out, right? I want to see Murder Mook stand in front of those crazy haymakers. I want to see that energy. Hitman, I've been in a room with Hitman Holla battling the building shaking. I want to see Mook under that type of pressure. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. I want to see the ultimate version of Hitman Holla, because you're going up against the greatest battler ever. You know what I mean? And some people can debate that, right? Some people say, oh, Rock is the GOAT. Some people think it's Charlie Cliff. Some people think it's Lux. Everybody's got their own, like, who they think the great. I think Mook is probably the greatest battler ever to ever exist. That's what I think. You know what I mean? So, and he's one of, I think Hitman said something along the lines of, he said, you ain't never came from the bottom. But when you look at Murder Mook, Mook battled for free. Like when he first battled. He was battling to prove who was the nicest at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. I think Rock might be the greatest battler ever. I don't know. I'm torn between Rock and Mook. Like, in all reality. You know what I mean? But, you know, you see what Mook did with Rock. 3-0, 30. You know, but Hitman said something. He was like, yo, you didn't come from the bottom. Mook is the epitome of coming from the bottom and making something of himself. You know, back then, like when Smack recorded that battle, he didn't get paid for that. That's why he charged it for the Cold Crush. He didn't get paid for that. You know, so he came from the bottom, you know, and made his way to the top of the game, of the ranks. And everybody, it doesn't matter what you have done in this sport, you gotta see Murder Mook. This is a tier of what it is. This is a God tier of what it is. You know what I'm saying? When you reach the top of the mountain, this is who you got to go up against. You know what I mean? And sometimes he puts you down. You know, sometimes you might get a debatable. Sometimes somebody might win. You know, but at the end of the day, his position doesn't move. You know, so I don't know. It's kind of hard to argue up against somebody like that. You know, so I don't know. Whereas Hitman, you know, he's battled for money, and you know, Hitman had to, you know, get a name for himself and stuff. You know, you can't just start at the top. You gotta, like, you know, move up the ranks or whatever. But when Mook told Hitman, this ain't about money to me. He said, this is about, he said, well, I battled before to prove who was the nicest. That's what it was about for me. When I look at you, I know I'm a better rapper than you. I know it. So when we leave, you ain't leaving with this. He was talking crazy. When you leave, you're not leaving with this. I know I'm a better rapper than you. You know, so, man, I will say this face-off has got me really wanting to see this battle. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Shout out to Mook. Shout out to Hitman Holla. As far as Hitman, he's got a lot of accolades. Hitman has stood in front of, I think, you know, more, you know, I think he's got a bigger resume. He stood in front of more different talent than Mook has. You know what I'm saying? If this is me just being real. You know, he's battled the bill collectors. He's battled the Tay-Rocks. He's battled the, you know, they stood in front of Conceited. He's battled Surf. He's battled, you know what I'm saying, the hybrid rapper Surf. He's been in front of a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, who knows how this battle is going to go. Now, if you're talking about face-off, Mook all day. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to the battle, we could all sit here and speculate. But that night, somebody is leaving with an L. You know, it could be Mook, it could be Hitman, but we gonna end up seeing what's going on. Somebody said, Carnage the Great with the $5 donation. He said, I feel like Mook is a much better rapper. Hitman cannot be on the same level lyrically, but Hitman does put on a better show. 100% for me, bars win. You know, and that's all dependent, right? Because the Hitman versus Geechee battle, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like this super entertaining battle. I had Hitman winning, you know what I'm saying? Or Hitman versus, you know, Hustle. It wasn't a super entertaining battle, but I had Hitman winning. Not every battle he does is going to be super entertaining, but when he gets into that bag, you know what I'm saying? His original bag, that's what people want to see Hitman. You know what I'm saying? Show remix with the bullets that came. That's what people want to see. He said, Hitman. I said, man, what? That's what we want to see. Hitman and his element going crazy. Put Mook in that situation. And I want to see Mook put Hitman in a situation to where somebody is breaking him down so bad. You know what I'm saying? Better than anybody that's ever, like, he's dealt with. Put Hitman in the space of dealing with a thoroughbred all-around rapper. You know, and put him in that, you know, make him feel the pressure, you know what I'm saying, of that. You know, so I want to see Mook put Hitman Holla in that space. If both of these guys are at 100%, I think we going to get our money's worth. You know, all in all, like, be a real, I mean, we got other battles on the card. You got Rum Nitty versus Calico. You got Arsenal versus Jazz the Rapper Shot to Her. You got Av versus Rex. You got, like, other battles that's going to be on the card. This right now is what's selling me on the card. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Before I get up out of here, Bad News told everything he did. 100% accuracy. Officer T. Ward knows. He told everything. Wait a minute. Told. Cheese in the chat, please. Uncle N8T3 with the $4.99 donation. He said, Whitman is cool, but Mook gonna win. Oh, he said Whitman is cool, but Mook gonna yell. Bad News told everything. I don't know. Maybe Bad News will show up to the battle. I don't know. These snitches be showing up. The tattletales be battling now. They be battling like everything's fine. You be like, didn't he just snitch? Wasn't he just sitting with detectives? He on a card promoting. These tattletales, I tell you. They like, well, Gunna can do it. Gunna can do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But shout out to everybody. Shout out to Hitman Holla. Shout out to Mook. As far as the visuals, the face-off looked great. I like that they had the camera on both parties so you can see the reactions to everything, you know, their reactions to everything. I like that Hitman got up, got in Mook's face, was talking reckless. I like that he actually spit some bars. Some people don't do that. You know what I mean? I like that he did that. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. We'll see what happens. But